coming in currently 22nd top team in Australia, and Newcastle are the 28th best team in Australia, so they're pretty closely ranked. It should be a pretty exciting match. This is Newcastle's first game of the tournament, and the Bay Rollers, this is the Bay Rollers' second game, and they played the Brisbane City Rollers earlier today and lost by a solid margin, so they'll be eager to get back into it in this game against Newcastle. I've been watching the Bay Rollers play over the last 12 months, and they're a top team. They've gathered together. A lot of players came down from Lismore recently, and they really have a very strong team. They're great fun to watch. I haven't seen Newcastle play for quite a long time, but they're definitely some veterans on the Australian derby scene. This is the Bay Rollers' first visit to the Great Southern Slam, but Newcastle have been here for all 4 slams. Starting in 2010, they came in at 13th in Division 1 out of 15 teams. 2012, Newcastle came in 17th out of 18 teams in 2012. 2014, I'm trying to find them on my list here. Looks like, there they are, 14th out of 21 in Division 1 now. Any team that can make it into Division 1 in the Great Southern Slam is right up there. So they may not have scored incredibly well in previous slams, but I promise you, they're one of the best teams in the country. We're going to have an epic game of roller derby here. So this pool is made up of Brisbane City Rollers and these 2 teams. So whoever wins both games will move to the quarterfinals. If each team wins 1 game apiece, then it'll come down to points differential to decide. They will be playing, and the team that goes through to the semis, to the quarters, should I say, will be playing against the winners of Pool 2. And Pool 2 is made up of the Sun State Roller Girls from Brisbane, Coastal Assassins from Caloundra, and South Sea Roller Derby from Melbourne. So they'll be playing against the winner of those teams. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can see the Bay Rollers warming up over there, cheering. You can see Newcastle over there. The Bay Rollers are in the red and white, and they hearken from Byron Bay. And Newcastle are in the purple and white, and they come from Newcastle. Leggy Bomb, number 17, is stepping up to the crease. She's going to be her first jammer for the Bay Rollers. My name's Honest Dave, and it looks like Colonel Panic's come to join us here for the live stream, and we're going to be your guides through the action at this 2016 Great Southern Slam. This is the biggest tournament for roller derby on the entire planet. 5 tracks running concurrent, 3 days, 30-odd teams. It's crazy down here. And our 2 teams have deployed. Holly Funk in the white for Newcastle is going to be jamming with and Leggy Bomb in the red for the jamming for the Bay Rollers. The Bay Rollers have deployed their heart up against the jammer line, ready to engage the jammer immediately on the starting gun. And we're away. Holly Funk trying to force her way up through the middle. Leggy Bomb trying to reevaluate, go around on the outside. She's shut down, big hit there by Godzilla. Comes out, guns are blazing, and just what Holly Funk needed. Leggy Bomb got shut down just for that brief moment, and Funk busted through, claiming lead jammer for Newcastle. Now Holly Funk looking for points, slams around the outside. Cleo Fracture tries to shut her down. I'm just checking for the points. 3 points to Holly Funk, 0 points to Leggy Bomb, and Newcastle are away. You can see a lot of Brisbane City Rollers players sitting on the side of the track because they will be playing Newcastle tomorrow morning, and they want to see what they're up against. Sugar Cane in the red, stepping up to the crease for Byron Bay, and 069 Fantastic in the white for Newcastle. Fantastic shut down by Slingshot Polka Dot on the inside line. She decides to go up the outside. Sugar Cane's right up through the guts, trying to find an opening left and right, shaking things up. Nice offensive play by Booger, stepping in, trying to open up some gaps, but her jammer can't quite capitalise. As the pack's round in the corner, it's starting to loosen up a bit, and gaps are widening up, and Newcastle have claimed lead jammer for the second jam of the match. Yep. Colonel Panic's here. Welcome KP, it's good to have you here.
Yeah, great to be here. There's going to be an exciting matchup already, showing the physicality that these two teams have. Division 1, they've, I believe they lined up at SmackDown 2 years ago against each other. That was the last time. Obviously, both from the New South Wales northern coast.
Yeah, that's right. I think the Bay Rollers, like I've seen them play a lot over the last 12 months, and I think they're quite a different team than we saw 18 months ago. There's a bit of a Lismore's Northern Rivers Roller Derby had a bit of a mix-up and lost a few of their players, and the Bay Rollers have picked up some killer players. Having said that, I do see that they're missing B-Rail, World War When, Dreaded Cat aren't on their roster, so that's going to make life even harder. Nikki Nitro busting down the inside line, claiming lead jammer for the first time for the Bay Rollers.
Yeah, big opening for her. It was a pretty easy pass in the end. Kay Sass got the gas down chasing her, but I think it's going to give time for Nikki to pick up a full set of points.
There they are, 4 points for the Bay Rollers.
She chooses not to call it off, though.
You're right. She's backing herself and her team. That's what we like to see. So Kay Sass has now claimed the 4 points as well, so they're 4 points apiece.
Confident jamming, confident blocking. They know that the team can hold Kay Sass. She picks up some extra points there and now calls it off safely.
So that's 5 points to 4 for Nikki Nitro and the Bay Rollers, and the Bay Rollers have cracked the goose egg. They're off 0.
We do have the YouTube live chat window open here on the table, so if you've got any questions, want any updates on penalties, just stick your fingers on the keyboard and let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Any feedback will be gratefully received. Cleo Fracture stepping up to the crease, number 888 in her first jam of the match.
And Holly Funk lining up in the jammer star for Newcastle. Newcastle have been rebuilding a little over the last few years, and they are coming into this tournament kind of at the peak of that. They're really strong, and they're the lead jammer for Holly Funk, really showing it.
Yeah, they have been killing it so far. They've got a nice 7-point lead at the moment. Cleo Fracture shut down at the front. I couldn't quite catch who that was that shut her down, but she hit the concrete hard. Let's not make no mistake, these girls are playing on concrete, and when they get shut down, you can feel it shudder beneath your feet.
5 in the sky for Holly Funk as this power jam continues. She scores the 5 points before the Bay Rollers jammers even sit in the box.
Nice nudge on the outside by Nora X as she tries to get through, but Holly keeps her wheels in the track. And the Newcastle Roller Derby League are coming out, guns are blazing. Check that Bay Rollers defence, they are all over her. Abrasion Hussey holding her ground. Set. Oh, Holly Funk, gee, she's a killer, isn't she? Look at her go.
Reggie Ramjet put in a little bit of active offense, but then that's all she needed. Holly Funk did the rest herself.
So she's swooping around the track, looking for another scoring run. Cleo Fracture's backing out of the sin bin now, and both jammers are going to be smashed. Oh, she throws the dummy.
Incredible footwork there. Just confidently scores another full scoring pass while the Bay Rollers jammer still on the initial.
Cleo, careful not to yield. Her shoelace has come undone too. That looks like trouble.
Yikes. That's going to be uncomfortable.
Well, she's got other things on her mind at the moment, I think. Holly Funk has posted another fat 4 points for Newcastle. Cleo Fracture yielding to the pack to Booger at the back there.
Booger just lining up to make sure that Cleo Fracture doesn't get that clean re-entry. She's finally out, but that shoelace is definitely causing her problems now. Her skate is nearly off.
That was a huge jam there for Holly Funk. That was a 29.20 jam there. That is incredible. I'm just making sure. I just want to check to make sure that's right, but I think the scores have all been updated correctly. 0 points awarded to Bay Rollers. That is a massive jam there. 29 points.
That's huge after a long day here at the Great Southern Slam to be able to just smash out those scoring passes. Impressive stuff.
Leggy Bomb and Fantastic, our next two jammers. Leggy Bomb in the red for the Bay Rollers and Fantastic in the white for Newcastle. Leggy Bomb's up the front now. She's having to deal with number 16 Booger up the front, who defends beautifully and forces her to yield to the pack.
Leggy Bomb earning lead jammer but not clearing the pack, having to recycle to the back on turn 1. Now she's clear. Those big long legs of hers able to earn the lead without getting all the way out.
Yeah, that's very true. She's coming around that pack nice and quick there. Fanny Taxic's completed her initial pass, so no points yet on the board for Newcastle. Leggy Bomb in and guts of that pack, looking for a scoring run. Booger up the front again, doing some stellar work. Mojo Malicious tries to weigh in. Leggy Bomb calls off the jam after posting 4 points for the Bay Rollers.
Some good clean jamming by Leggy Bomb there, putting the points on the need that the on the board that the Bay Rollers need. Booger was doing her best to draw her out of bounds, but Leggy Bomb just made sure she got the points and called it off clean.
That's what the Bay Rollers are going to have to do. The score wouldn't be that out of control if it wasn't for that 129-point jam. So they're going to have to really work hard to claw that back. Nikki Nitro in the red for the Bay Rollers and Kay Sass in the white for Newcastle. Nikki Nitro sees a line. Kay Sass weighs in on the defence. Nikki Nitro fires those cannons and breaches the pack, claiming lead jammer for the Bay Rollers.
Nikki Nitro had some serious acceleration on her. As soon as that hole opened, she just gassed up and went through it. Kay Sass, no slouch, so she's hot in pursuit.
She is burning around. So again, Nikki Nitro, a bit slow to call off the jam. And allowing Kay Sass to put 3 more points on the board. I do admire that in a jammer, though, when you just back yourself and your team. But I think maybe if she was going to leave it that long, she should have gone for another scoring run instead of just handing over those 3 points. Sugar Cane it up there on the line. And Holly Funk in the white. We've got a 4-3 pack advantage to the Bay Rollers, who are deploying.
Looks like we have both Bear and Debris in the box for Newcastle, so it's just the 2 of them left.
Yeah, my mistake. 4-2 pack advantage. So the whistle's blown. Sugarcane at Crab walks up the inside. Holly Funk tries to follow in her wake, but Slingshot Polka Dot guards the inside line. Both jammers are through, but the Bay Rollers have claimed lead jammer.
Race. Holly Funk overtakes Sugarcane it, and Sugarcane it's like, I've had enough of that one.
Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with, that Holly Funk. She was coming around that track nice and quickly. Oh, check it, Nora X. I love to watch this girl in action. She's an absolute killer. I've held her back a little bit, and let's see what she can do as she lines up alongside Fanny Tastic in the white for Newcastle.
Yeah, Fanny Tastic, not a traditional jammer, but she's been wearing that star a fair bit lately for Newcastle and really starting to come into her own. It's just a powerful and confident jammer, and we'll see just working the back wall there, trying to make an opening.
BB Sting, Cleo Fracture and Leggy Bomb working brilliantly at the back. Nora X has breached the pack and claims lead jammer for Bay.
Wow, she sure did have some speed coming out of that pack. Very confident lead jammer.
She's a gun. She really is. But Newcastle now sealing up the defence. That's Booger as well, holding her ground. She's a killer of a blocker. Nora X spies the line, but Booger's at her again, shuts her down, forcing her to yield to the pack.
Fanny Tastic still stuck behind the blockers from the Bay Rollers. Leggy Bomb just one-on-one.
Oh, hang on. I think we've seen a penalty, a clockwise block. No, an out-of-play block has been issued to Fanny Tastic. So now this is a power jam with Nora X at the helm.
A little bit of penalty trouble for Newcastle early on. They've pretty much constantly had someone in the box for the last few jams.
And when that person is the jammer, that spells trouble. Nora X completes a scoring run, posting 5 points for the Bay Rollers. The pack is at a dead stop, and this is just what Nora X wants. It means she doesn't have to work too hard to catch up to the pack for each scoring pass. She throws the dummy. She's trying to find her way through.
Well coordinated offense there, but Newcastle managing to bump the jammer out of bounds. Interesting call off there. The Newcastle jammer still on the initial pass. She still did have time on that, but she's happy with the 2 points.
Yeah, and the Bay Rollers inching closer, 24 points of difference. Sugar Cane it back out on the jammer line, and Kay Sass. I've heard some whistles blowing. Looks like a team timeout has been called by Newcastle. So yeah, we've got 7 pools in the tournament, and in Division 1. Just talking about Division 1 at the moment. And so of each of those pools, the winning team progresses through to the quarterfinals, and then the 8th team is the one who didn't win their pool but has the highest points differential will also progress, and they'll be playing against the winner of Pool 1. So this is every game's important. Like I said, Brisbane City Rollers have already defeated the Bay Rollers today, so they're well on the way to winning this pool. So it's important to both these teams, obviously, to win.
And I know a few of these teams have been practicing points differential play. It's a little different to what the rankings play, which is more of a points percentage game. So shutting down the opposition is kind of more important than cranking up your own score. Points differential, it's about putting some big scores on the board. Letting the other team score slightly less of a priority in this format.
And these pools are the ones where there's much more of a chance of getting those high points differentials. Pool 1 and Pool 2 have got Sunstate and Victoria, and they're tough to score points against. So they're going to really struggle, the losing teams of those two pools, to get through on points differential. But this pool, even if you don't win, there's a good chance if you do well that one of these teams may make it through. So we are back away. The timeout has finished. Kay Sass in the white for Newcastle. Pack spread right out there. I would have thought no pack would have been called a while back. Big hits getting dished out.
So Newcastle doing some strong recycling at the front. The jammer almost down a few times there, and then suddenly two more white blockers are in front. Godzilla sold separately, just owning it at the front the way she does.
And Drop Bear weighing in as well. Debris doing a stellar job, just one sternum hit after another. It's beautiful to watch.
We had a pile up on the outside. I think I saw a toe stop or something go flying off a skate with a ref over the top of them. Oh no, it looks like it's a wrist guard. How did she manage that?
It's some pretty punishing stuff going on out there. Kay Sass has dropped something as well. She's picked it up off the ground. Nice defense up the front there by Carnage, I believe that is. Drops the shoulder. Sugarcane, it gets shut down by Debris, who's doing a stellar job in the pack this jam.
Debris doing some pretty awesome stuff just as a dedicated jammer killer, giving more time for Kay Sass to score points on the Newcastle scoreboard.
Kay Sass just shoves Drop Bear into Abrasion Hussey, just uses her as a cannonball to open up a gap, and it worked brilliantly. She punches through that pack for another fat 5-point
Carnage
pass.
putting her hands in the air going, that should have been a cut, but I don't think Kay Sass actually went out of bounds. She just went down on all fours and got up and went, well, I'm good, I'm just going to keep going. And the referees agreed with her.
Oh, hang on, this is trouble.
That was a skating out of bounds penalty. Odd to happen mid-jam like that on a jammer. I guess they determined that she left the track to avoid a block. That's kind of the only time that happens.
I don't see... Oh, hang on. I don't see the benchy disputing that call or anything like that, so maybe you're right there, Colonel Panic.
That is a hard one to dispute. If the refs are going to call it, they're going to call it. There's not much you can say. It's like, well, I disagree, and the ref's like, well, I don't. So.
Yeah, it's a good point. You got to pick your battle. Hang on, Lady Gargantua stepping out onto the track. She's having a bit of a chat, but she's not disputing the call. So Holly Funk now jamming unopposed for the next 30 seconds. Nikki Nitro holding her ground, trying to shove her out of bounds, but she's through. Holly Funk is a force to be reckoned with out there.
And she's loving it. She loves to skate. She loves to play this game, and that smile on her face just shows it.
42.
Getting lead jam is also pretty fun.
And winning by 42 points is certainly adding to that smile.
But that's a cut on Holly. Leggy bomb, using those legs to just get back behind her re-entry. Now
They're going to hang back and wait for the return of our Bay Rollers jammer, who's back on track now. That's Sugar Cane it in the red for the Bay Rollers.
She's got a wicked leap around the outside. She's tried it a few times, but Newcastle have read it and made her recycle.
She's completed her initial pass. No points yet on the board. We've got a little over a minute left in this jam. Oh, Leggy Bomb trying to open up some gaps.
Getting some movement in that wall is sometimes all it takes. It doesn't necessarily have to be the hole that the jammer's going for. It just needs to be movement. Unfortunately, in that case, the movement resulted in the jammer getting knocked down of bounds. Recycled all the way, and Holly's penalty's over. That didn't take long.
No, it didn't seem long. Leggy Bomb working hard up the front, but Holly Funk is through. She's killing it. That's another 5 points. 35
There's
seconds
those
remaining.
5 points she earned before she went to the box.
The pack's at a dead stop. Oh, Debris. Massive hit on Abrasion Hussey, who's taken the jammer star. She goes around the outside, and Abrasion Hussey...
Still 22 seconds left in this jam, so there is scoring opportunity for both jammers.
So let's see how she plays it. Holly Funk again. Leggy Bomb. Beautiful work. BB Sting hanging back to defend the inside line as well. sugar cane it.
Bree just setting up that 2 wall, holding the jammer. Now with Booger forming a 3 wall.
Just beautiful to watch.
That points protection.
Debris. Oh, man.
The jammer was pushing for about 5 seconds and managed to get just one of their hits.
Just brilliant. And with Booger as well. And I think, was Mojo Malicious the other skater in that triangle? I could be mistaken about that. But damn, they were holding their ground beautifully. Nora X back out on the line and Fantastic in the white for Newcastle. Newcastle claimed the spot hard up against the jammer line to engage the jammer the minute that starting whistle's blown.
Newcastle just love their kind of fundamental derby. Good strong walls, good 2 pairings, good 3 pairings. They don't need to do anything fancy. They just do it well. So
Nora X has gone down, shut down by number 26, Mojo Malicious. Quickly back to her feet again. And we've got Fantastic having to yield to the pack as well. Nora X breaches the pack, claiming lead jammer for the Bay Rollers. Did take her a good 28 seconds to get through the pack.
She is not hanging around either. No. She's had full acceleration mode to get back and start scoring.
There we go. That's a 5-point grand. Oh, yeah, 5 points for the Bay Rollers.
Yeah, Fantastic being held right at the back of the pack. She's making no ground. Still on her initial pass.
The Bay Rollers really need this. Look at Debris. She's tough. Just beautiful placement of her blocking. Oh, and another big hit by Marilyn Tantrum there on the outside, shutting Nora X down. Fantastic's completed her initial pass, but no points yet on the board for Newcastle.
The Star Stash did just enough to get the distraction Fanny out, but that jam was all Bay Rollers' way. I can't quite see the jam total.
9 points to 0 there for Nora X and the Bay Rollers. That's definitely what they need. They've got a long way to come back here. Lady Gargantua's called a timeout for the Bay Rollers. Good chance to do a shout out for all our beloved sponsors. Thanks so much to Adelaide Showgrounds. This is the 4th Great Southern Slam. Did I mention this is the biggest tournament on the planet? 5 tracks running concurrent, dozens of teams, hundreds of skaters and referees and officials. Really is incredible, and we could not do it without support of the Adelaide Showgrounds. So thank you so much to the Adelaide Showground. This is the centre of the derby world in Australia for the next 3 days.
Also, big shout out to Rydell. For over 7 years, Rydell has been the innovative leader in the roller skating industry. Rydell skates unmatched quality, unmatched performance. And if you are coming down to the Great Southern Slam this weekend, get along to the Radar booth to register and win a free set of the new Radar Halo wheels by Rydell.
Also like to thank Haig's Chocolates. You don't come to Adelaide and not pay a visit to Haig's Chocolates, that's for damn sure. Thank you also to Physio Fit, the Adelaide Roller Derby's Adelaide's official physio provider. Thanks to Cove Print for printing out all the banners and flyers. Nikki Wallace Design for putting up the TGSS website, which is awesome and which you're obviously looking at right now. Thanks so much to Nikki Wallace Design.
All right, we're going to get underway. Leggy Bomb wearing the star for the Bay Rollers. Case Sass for the Dockyard Dames.
Leggy Bomb in the guts of that pack. It's starting to accelerate now. Leggy Bomb's up the front, down the outside. Oh, that's Booger. She's a killer. Leggy Bomb yields.
Powerful hit there, but Leggy Bomb, as she did last time she wore the star, earned lead jam without actually getting out of the pack.
Well, Kay Sass was the first one through the pack, but Leggy Bomb is our lead jammer. How's she going to play it? The pack's inching along, just passed through turn 1. Leggy Bomb looks like she's not calling off the jam, but deciding to back herself and her team. Kay Sass up the front around Slingshot Polka Dot. Oh, big hit there by Alabasha. Kay Sass shut down out of bounds. Leggy Bomb completes her 4 points.
And Kay Sass picks up the track cut. Was a nice drawback by the Bay Rollers. It's a very depleted pack now.
It's great to see. Leggy Bomb had the chance to call off the jam. She did not. And as a result, it is now paying off in spades. Kay Sass is now sitting in the Sinman for a track cut, I believe. Leggy Bomb posts another 5 much-needed points for the Bay Rollers and calls off that jam. Beautiful work there by Leggy Bomb.
Everyone that knows me knows I love a long jam strategy. If you trust your team, you can keep going just because the opposing jammer is on their scoring pass. And sometimes it pays off big time, just like it did for Leggy Bomb then.
Well, we've been seeing Nikki Nitro pull that manoeuvre as well, and she's stepping up onto the jammer line alone for the moment until we see the return of our Newcastle jammer from the sin bin.
But Reggie Ramjet, Marilyn Tantrum and Debris have something to say about it. Not much apparently though, because Nikki Nitro,
she ain't listening.
Straight up lane 1.
Yeah, she's been playing derby for a long time, Nikki Nitro. I've been watching her play for years, and she just seems to get better. But look at those moves. That's a 5-point Grand Slam pass. The pack is on a dead stop. This is just how she wants it. She's edging, looking for the line. Here come her teammates to open up some gaps.
So K-Sass is now back on the track. She has the Jammer Star hidden nicely in her hand. I don't think it's fooling the Bay Rollers though, because they are all over her.
Slingshot Polka Dot, the last defender up the front. Number 76, Abrasion Hussey weighing in as well. K-Sass completes her initial pass. No points yet. Track cut issued to Nikki Nitro. The worm has turned. K-Sass is now at the helm of a power jam, looking for a scoring run.
Round the outside with no one to stop her. We still have 1 full minute on this jam clock.
Yeah, Reggie Ramjet, beautiful offensive play, just sweeping the track clean. Here they come again. Number 15 hitting in as well, Marilyn Tantrum.
This time a good force out and back by the Bay Rollers. Jamaican Me Crazy takes her back a good 15 feet into turn 4.
K-Sass having to deal with Slingshot Polka Dot, Cleo Fracture and Abrasion Hussey up the front there.
And a play signalled up the front. No one getting a penalty for it, but K-Sass getting released as the blockers just went too far.
Nikki Nitro's backing out of the sin bin now, coming a foul of Marilyn Tantrum. 10 points apiece at the moment, both on a scoring run.
Marilyn Tantrum knocking Nikki Nitro out, but she hung back just that beat too long. The refs issuing an out of play. Failure to return for Marilyn Tantrum. Both jammers now picking up 4 points matched.
And that
What's
jam
the net gain there? If I can see the scoreboard, it's 14-14. Net gain of nothing. All of that work for nothing.
It's brutal. It is brutal out there. Sugar Cane stepping up to the crease in the red for the Bay Rollers, and for Newcastle, number 3, Holly Funk.
Now this is a classic look. 2 teams lined up on the pivot line. 2 fast, agile jammers with a big run up.
There it is, Holly Funk.
Holly Funk destroys the wall.
She did, didn't she? But she went down as well, but quickly back up to her feet. The wall hadn't quite reformed, and she punches her way through it.
Debris, 1-woman jammer killer at the front there.
Sheesh,
just eats that.
Incredible.
Eats that, baby.
Ginger Rage working well there in the centre of that pack. That is, the Bay Rolls have completed their initial pass. So Sugar Cane, it's got no points yet on the board. Holly Funk busts through, posting 4 points, calls that jam. Oh, it's beautiful to watch.
97 plays 56. 8 minutes left in period 1. This is hard and fast action. This could, like, a little momentum swing could change this very easily.
Well, let's see if Leggy Bomb can be the instrument of that change. She steps up to the jammer line alongside Fantastic. Bay Rollers in the red, Newcastle in the white. Thanks, guys, for posting all your stuff up there. I'm trying to have a look while I watch. I might actually have a good read at halftime. So
see a lot of support coming through for Newcastle back home.
So Bay Rollers, where are you on our little feed here?
51 of you watching. Let's hear from you.
Fantastic completed her initial pass for Newcastle. Leggy Bomb screams around the outside, completing her initial pass. Nikki Nitro getting right in there. Nora X up the front there, but our Newcastle jammer Fantastic completes a 4-point pass and calls off the jam, and Newcastle have cracked the ton.
Booker doing some really nice work, playing aggressive offense for her jammer, getting Fantastic through, then straight onto defense, owning the Bay Rollers jammer.
Metal Mink stepping up to the crease in the red, number 618. This is her first jam of the evening. She lines up alongside K-Sass in the white for Newcastle. You can see the deployment now. Bay Rollers starting way forward, and Newcastle pressed up hard up against the jammer line. No pack called immediately, so no blockers can engage. K-Sass dishes out a nice shoulder hit to Metal Minx. and she's shut down by Slingshot Polka Dot up the front. Both teams on full defensive mode. KSAS yielding to Slingshot Polka Dot up the back. And Metal Minx claims lead jammer for the Bay Rollers.
There is about 3/4 of a skate length between the two jammers, though. Both defensive walls right on top of each other and both getting breached at the same time. It's a 0-0 call off. Smart one, reset. Let's try that again.
BB Sting. So it looks like the Bay Rollers are now trying to mix things up a little bit as BB Sting steps out onto the track with the Jammer Star in her first jam. And Holly Funk back out on the line. As we've seen her absolutely smash it so far. If my math serves me correctly, it's 45 points the difference. Newcastle deploying hard up against the Jammer line. Holly Funk tries to crab walk up the outside and she pulls it off. Claiming lead jammer in the first couple of seconds. Oh, hang on. Number 31, Reggie Ramjet, just shuts BB Sting down. She recovers very quickly though, but Booger again is in her path. And bang, through comes our Newcastle jammer, Holly Funk, and claims a 5-point Grand Slam pass. Newcastle hanging back, adding their inertia to the pack and slowing it right down in the hope that Holly Funk can get another scoring pass in. And she does post another 2 points and calls off the jam. Beautiful work in the pack there by Newcastle. Hanging back, grinding down the pace. The jammer snuck a few points in and called off the jam.
Good strong points protection there by the Bay Rollers, only giving up 2 on that last pass.
Got Nikki Nitro and Fanny Tastic, our next 2 jammers. You can see Godzilla holding Reggie Ramjet and Booger, ready to engage. Ella Bashes from the Bay Rollers has stepped back to play interference on that triangular defence that Newcastle have got going on. Let's see how they play it out. Fanny Tastic tries to go up the guts. Nikki Nitro left and right. Beautiful lateral movement as the wall loosens up and Nikki Nitro skips through, claiming lead jammer for the Bay Rollers. Metal Minx, the last defender up the front, holding Fanny Tastic at bay for a second or two. Nikki Nitro punches through that pack, posting 4 points and calling off the jam this time. We've seen her dragging out the jams in the past, just leaving it alone and fighting through it, but she's decided to hit it and quit it and just get the quick 4 points.
So we're in the last 4 minutes of this first period here. Division 1, Track 2, Day 1. It's been a long day of derby. These skaters are still fired up and running on adrenaline, but let's see, still have another 30 minutes to go after this.
Kay Sass and Nora X, our 2 jammers, as we head into the dying minutes of this first half. Kay Sass digging in her toe stops and forcing the pack starts to crumble a little bit. Nora X around the outside. Booger, the last defender. Oh, just layering. Nora X just gets down low. Booger's block sweeps over the top of her and Nora X completes her scoring initial pass.
And Nora X putting some jammer defense on Kay Sass, making sure that her team had it before she accelerated off to earn that lead. Really smart, aware jamming.
Another quick 4 points for the Bay Rollers. They need to head into half-time on a high note, and they're certainly going a long way towards doing that. Sugar Cane at stepping up to the crease, jamming for the Bay Rollers. And Holly Funk back out on the line. Bay Rollers deploying right up against the jammer line in a 4-wall, and Newcastle following suit right in front of them.
More old school formation, 4-wall flat from both teams. Don't see that very often anymore.
Sugar Cane tries to crab walk in Carnage's wake. Newcastle didn't fall for it. The pack's starting to loosen up. Godzilla the last defender, but Sugar Cane is through. Claiming lead jammer for the Bay Rollers.
We have a power jam, track cut, Holly Funk on the outside, going all the way around to the penalty box.
So this is a nice opportunity for the Bay Rollers. 44 points after recover. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Look at that defense up the front there. Caliente doing some stellar work. She copped a penalty for her troubles. Marilyn Tantrum and Booger weigh in, and Sugar Cane completes a scoring pass. Slingshot Polka Dot running interference on the defenders up the front there. How are they going to play? They're hanging back to control pack speed rather than assist their jammer, and it's worked. Sugar Cane crab walks up the outside line, posts her points, calls that jam.
Wow, who needs offense when you've got jamming like that? And we have an official review being called by Booger. Not sure what this is about, but with 1 minute 27, it's probably about time you would try almost anything.
Yeah, maybe they're just using it as a chance to have a rest. Blacktooth Grinner's going to head out into the middle. You can see that handsome gentleman in the leather jacket heading out in the middle of the track, and he's going to find out exactly what's going on out there. But this is a great opportunity for me to once again thank our beloved sponsors. Thanks to Vizzy Boxes and More for our bum box merch item. Thanks to Vizzy Boxes and More for supply the bum boxes. If your bum is getting cold on the cement, head over to the TGSS merch stall and pick up a bum box. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of instances of hemorrhoids after TGSS because there's a lot of cold concrete to sit on around here. So make sure you head over to Vizzy Boxes and More. I'm sure you're sitting comfortably at home, but I'll tell you what, it's freezing here at the bottom of the world in Adelaide, let me assure you of that.
It is a little cold in this venue, but these skaters are working hard. I was certainly sweating a lot trying to skate around last night.
So we're just going to find out from Blacktooth Grinner exactly what went on out there. Oh, did they? That's weird. So yeah, they were just using it. The Bay Rollers, who called that? The Bay Rollers called that? Well, whoever it was, they were
that
just,
was Newcastle.
It was
called
Newcastle.
that.
Well, they were just using it as a timeout to have a bit of a break as they head into what is likely going to be the last or second last jam of the first half of this, the final game of day one of the 2016 Great Southern Slam, the biggest tournament on the planet. Nicky Nitro, number 75.
Those skaters just made it on the track. No, one of them didn't.
Holly Funk hits the... Oh, Nicky Nitro is through, claiming lead jammer for the Bay Rollers. Oh, leggy bomb, using the jammer's momentum against her. Just gently nudges her out of bounds. She eats concrete.
So no, your eyes are not deceiving you. There is one too few skaters on the track for Newcastle. They didn't all make it on the track before the whistle went.
And Nicky Nitro capitalising on that as she punches through the pack, claiming 4 points. Abrasion Hussey cops a penalty on her way. Nicky Nitro's back in looking for points. Holly Funk weighs in on the defence, accidentally, I think. Cleo Fracture, the last defender, and Holly Funk completes her initial pass. No points yet for Newcastle. Nicky Nitro jumps through the pack, completes a scoring pass, and calls off that jam. Do we have time for one more jam?
Big jam there for Nicky Nitro. Seem to be scoring without too much effort at all as we go into the final 30 seconds of period one.
Bay Rollers have had an excellent last 15 minutes. They've reduced the deficit to 25 points, and Nicky Nitro has scored a damn good chunk of those. Fantastic. And Sugar Cane, this is definitely the last jam of the first half. It's Newcastle in the white and the Bay Rollers in the red. Fantastic weighing in on the defence, blocking Sugar Cane it, and then jumping in to try and get through. Carnage holding her ground. Slingshot Polka Dot weighing in.
Both teams doing full D, but then Godzilla sold separately comes in and plays the offense straight through. Big opening for Fantastic.
So Fantastic swooping around, ready for a scoring pass. Sugar Cane, it's through the pack. Slingshot Polka Dot up the front there, giving or holds the inside line. Fantastic scores 3 points, calls off the jam, and that is half-time. 83 points to the Bay Rollers from Byron Bay. 111 points to Newcastle Roller Derby.
All right, that is the halftime. We'll be back for period two in just a moment.
The Arius Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Arius Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The Aries Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Aries Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The area's platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Arius Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice, you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The Arius Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Arius Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as
Well, we got about a little under 3 minutes remaining before second half of this Newcastle Roller Derby League, smashing it out against Byron Bay's Bay Rollers. I thought we'd just talk a little bit about the Great Southern Slam, this tournament that we're watching at the moment. It is, by all reports, the biggest tournament on the planet. Have I mentioned that already? If anyone knows of a bigger one, I'd love to hear of it, because even over in the States, which is like the hub of roller derby, they don't have anything like this. There's 5 tracks running concurrent 3 days. There are 45 teams from across Australia and New Zealand. Untold hundreds of refs and officials, volunteers, spectators. It is incredible. Everywhere you go in Adelaide at the moment, you go downtown Adelaide, and there's just roller derby teams in all the cafes. It really is a magic event here at the bottom of the world, here at the Adelaide Showgrounds. The first Great Southern Slam was 6 years ago, 2010. Roller derby in Australia was in its infancy, and Adelaide Roller Derby League decided to go out on its limb and see if they could get all the teams together and try and create a tournament. 14 teams decided to come down and play, and one potluck team just to make it the pools match up. And it was it was awesome fun. It was incredible. I remember, one of the things I remember is Pirate City from Auckland came over. None of us had ever seen any Kiwis play, and I don't think any of us who were there will forget Pirate City when they stepped out onto the track. In the end, the grand final came down to Victoria and Sun State Roller Girls, and they have been the grand final of both the succeeding Great Southern Slams as well. So 2012, it got a little bit bigger, 18 teams. 2014, the most recent one, grew from 18 teams to 45, 2 divisions. But that's about as much. That's about capacity here at the Adelaide Showgrounds. I know there are some teams that have missed out, but it is a huge event. There's such an awesome buzz here. Oh, it looks like Nikki Nitro has stepped out onto the line. And Holly Funk back out there in the white for Newcastle. Looks like we're going to get this second half underway. 83 points. You can hear Blacktooth Grinner and Bulldog, our 2 announcers, getting the crowd riled up. It's late in the evening, so it's all the diehard fans here watching. You can see the Brisbane City Rollers, a few members of the Brisbane City Rollers, who are the other team in this particular pool, wanting to suss out their opposition.
All right, so we are back. Period 2. After our little greatest hits of the 80s musical interlude that was halftime. Both teams set up strong. Holly Funk looking confident there as she drives into the 3-wall, working diagonally, driving forward.
Big shoulder hit there by Booger. Oh, well, she copped a penalty for her troubles. You can see Godzilla holding her teammates in that triangle defence beautifully, but Nikki Nitro has come out best and claimed lead jammer in the first jam of the second half. Holly Funk trailing by about a third of a lap. Pack is inching along. Nikki Nitro now looking for points. Godzilla going it alone up the front. Nikki Nitro gets down low, and she has not called the jam. Beautiful. We're going to see ourselves a game here.
There's a back block call on Holly Funk. She just pushed that skater a little bit too hard in the back and made the pass.
And Nikki Nitro is rewarded for her bravery there, not calling off the jam. Oh, Godzilla holds the inside line. BB Sting tries to play offense as well. Nikki Nitro not quite able to capitalise.
Some nice offensive communication between Nikki Nitro and her blockers there. Just a little tap on the back is all it takes for them to know where she's going, and they cleared a lane for her.
Look at Debris. She's just a kill. She just seems to fold her body into these awkward positions, but every stance is just full of grunt and strength. But Nikki Nitro's through. That's a 5-point pass, and she calls off the jam. And we have ourselves a match. 19 points the difference. As long as the Bay Rollers can keep things strong, they've got a chance in this game. Sugar Canett stepping up to the crease in the red for the Bay Rollers and in the white for Newcastle. Fantastic.
Definitely the game really closing up. Newcastle had a big strong run early on, but Bay Rollers bringing it back, and they've continued that momentum through here to the early part of period 2.
Well, Newcastle are kind of sitting comfortable on two massive blowout jams. It's really got them ahead, whereas the Bay Rollers are just steadily getting 4 points, and inching their way back. As long as the Bay Rollers can avoid those massive blowouts, then it's going to make for an exciting match.
Oh, tough takedown on Fantastic there. Is that number 202 for the Bay Rollers?
232, maybe it's Carnage.
Carnage taking down Fantastic and recycling her a solid 50 feet all the way back to the front straight.
Big hits by Abrasion Hussey there on the inside, but Fantastic cops them and punches her way through the pack. Bay Rollers sugarcane it now, looking for points. She gets her hips around Godzilla on the outside, posting 2 points, sees the approach of Fantastic and wisely calls off the jam defensively, and Bay Rollers inch 2 points closer, 17 points the difference. Kay Sass stepping up to the crease. Nikki Nitro in the red for the Bay Rollers.
Again, some really smart jamming here by the Bay Rollers. They're not taking the risky call-offs. They're just going 2-0. It's better than risking either a penalty or a 4-2.
It seems to be working. Nikki Nitro tries to find her way up the outside. Debris shuts her down. BB Sting holds the inside line, and Kay Sass has got nowhere to turn. You see Godzilla up the front. Oh, bit of a stack there on the outside. I hear whistle blast, and looks like Booger, I think that is, cops the penalty, and Nikki Nitro completes her initial pass, claiming lead jammer for Bay Rollers.
Booger flattening Nikki Nitro there, but the ref's deeming it was with her forearms. So Nikki's just straight back up and on her way while Booger heads to the box. Leggy Bomb joining her in the box now.
BB Sting tries to nudge Godzilla out of the way, but Godzilla did not move an inch.
It's blocking with the head call on Nikki Nitro, leading in there. That's a no-no. It's going to switch it up and allow Kay Sass to now... Well, there's no lead jammer, so she's going to be running unopposed until Nikki Nitro gets back on the track with a minute still on the clock.
And these are the situations the Bay Rollers do not want to be in. They're just going to allow Newcastle to run away with it. The pack's at a dead stop. Check it. Marilyn Tantrum. She skated forward to play offense, but the Bay Rollers used her momentum to speed the pack up, making KSS have to work harder. But she has got what it takes, and that's another fat 5 points for Newcastle.
Confident jamming there for KSS. Debris just getting a pack destruction penalty there.
Nitro backing out of the bin. And
that left the track wide open. Nikki Nitro just straight on, straight through.
So that's 5 points for Bay and 15 for KSS for Newcastle at the moment. I believe KSS trapped behind Leggy Bomb there up the back. 19 seconds remaining. Look at Godzilla, she's a killer, that's for sure. Nikki Nitro steps her, punches through, posting a 5-point Grand Slam pass. Kay Sass struggling to get through that defence.
Yeah, BB Sting doing a nice job at drawing her back. Kay Sass finally gets that last scoring pass in.
But having said that, I believe that Newcastle did come out ahead in that jam. Yes, they did, by 4 points.
Well, right now it's showing 15 to Newcastle, 11 to Bay Rollers for that jam. That's a 130-105.
19 to 11. No,
19. I just stuck a few more on there. 130 to 105.
Cleo Fracture up there on the line. I've heard a whistle blast.
We're having an official timeout. They're just having a chat with the jam refs, it looks like. No, the outside pack refs now involved. I'm not sure what that could be about.
The refs are keeping it nice and clean. We haven't seen too many official timeouts, keeping the momentum of the game flowing along.
Big shout out and thank you to all the officials working here, doing back-to-back games.
For a fact.
One of the most experienced ref crews I've seen out here is this one. Super focus, super experienced. They make the right call and they're in the right position to do it.
Holly Funk in the white for Newcastle. Cleo Fracture in the red for Bay. She's getting right down low. Booger holds her ground. Debris, just beautiful to watch. Holly Funk punches through the pack, claiming lead jammer for Newcastle.
Yeah, kind of a weird one. Looked like Booger had the jammer in a bit of a headlock from this angle, but there was no forearms penalty called, so I guess it didn't happen.
No, there was no impact. Cleo Fracture breaches the pack. Holly Funk posts her 4 points, calls off the jam, and Newcastle is starting to pull away. 31 points of difference. Fantastic stepping up to the crease, and Leggy Bomb back out on the line. Bay Rollers in the red, Newcastle in the white. Newcastle deploying hard up against the jammer line. Drop Bear acting as bridge to maintain the pack, and the Bay Rollers deploying up against the pivot line as we wait for that starting gun. We're away. Leggy Bomb opens with a shoulder block. That hip check, knocking Fantastic out of bounds. Leggy Bomb throws the dummy, tries to go down the outside. Marilyn Tantrum is there. BB Sting holds the inside line. Neither jammer able to make any headway.
That three wall of Newcastle holding Leggy Bomb for a while, but then she gets some pace on them and they all start to separate. Not far enough to get her out though. We have a big, strong lead jammer for Fantastic with Leggy Bomb still stuck behind that 3 formation. Marilyn Tantrum, Reggie Ramjet and Debris.
Metal Minx is the only Bay Roller blocker out there at the moment. She's trying to play interference with Reggie Ramjet to try and let Leggy Bomb through, but it's tough work when she's one going up against those 3 tough skaters. Leggy Bomb's completed her initial pass. Fantastic looking for points. Oh, that was a punishing hit by number 232, Carnage. Yeah. Oh, wish that had happened a bit closer. I felt that from here.
Fantastic. Just happy to call that one off.
No doubt.
It's hard to score more points after hits like that.
Well, another 8 points to Newcastle. They are keeping it nice and contained. Kay Sass and Nora X lining up. The thin-looking pack, only 2 blockers apiece out there. So we wait for the return of the other blockers from the sin bin. Let's see how they play it out. Kay Sass slams into Cleo Fracture. Oh,
boom!
Bang! That was
I'm
Marilyn
sure you
Tantrum.
felt that all the way through the internet on that hit.
Marilyn Tantrum just shuts her down with a massive sternum hit. Nora X is our lead jammer. Kay Sass about a quarter of the track behind. The pack's ground to a dead stop almost. Nora X looking for that line. Slingshot Polka Dot trying to open up some gaps. I think Nora X got her 4 points, 3 points, and calls off the jam.
Just some incredibly confident jamming. She got hit hard, got back up, and was not even slowed for a moment. Just straight through and lead. 3 points, nice and clean.
Yep, she'll feel that when the adrenaline wears off. New Sugarcane it up there on the line. And Holly Funk, an absolute derby legend, lined up alongside her. Bay Rollers deploying in a 4-wall hard up against the jammer line. We've got 1 Newcastle skater in the sin bin. Metal Minx forcing Alabasha in the path of Holly Funk. She recovers. Metal Mink, the last defender. Slingshot Polka Dot's not going to be quick enough. Oh, she was shut down by Metal Minx again on the outside line, forced to yield. Godzilla and Marilyn Tantrum, our 2 Newcastle defenders up the front. Both jammers are through.
Well, Reggie Ramjet held the Bay Rollers jammer for quite a while solo. It allowed Holly to reset from that big recycle that happened out on turn 2, and we're going to get a 0-0 net result from that.
But a 0-0, a pointless jam is definitely in Newcastle's favour. They've got a comfortable lead of 34 points. If they can just maintain low point-scoring jams, then they are going to take this game away. A little over 20 minutes remaining. Nora X and Fantastic going head-to-head here on the flat track. 2016 Great Southern Slam. Newcastle deploying hard up against the jammer line. Nora X trying to go up through the guts, but Mojo Malicious is having none of it. Nikki Nitro, Leggy Bomb holding their ground up the front there, making life hell for that Newcastle jammer.
Debris just on her way to the box for Newcastle. A multiplayer block called there as she was blocking the jammer.
Big stack there at the front, and Nora X is our lead jammer for the Bay Rollers. Fantastic, about a quarter lap behind. Thin looking pack, 3-2 pack advantage to Bay Rollers.
Marilyn Tantrum thought she'd drawn a cut on the Bay Rollers jammer, but instead she's going to head off to the box for her trouble.
And Nora X posts a quick 4 points and calls it off. It is exciting stuff. There's a nice little contingent in Newcastle players sporting the purple and yellow over there.
And we're going to see Booger wearing the jammer star for the first time in this game.
As she lines up alongside Abrasion Hussey. We don't see her with the jammer star on too often either. Let's see how these two play it out. The pack deploying about 2/3 of the way up the deployment zone. So they'll be able to engage after a bit of momentum is accrued by the jammers.
Booger with just a very powerful jamming style. She just crushes through walls, and she's done it there. Straight out, straight to lead.
Carnage was the last defender, but she didn't have the grunt to shut Booger down. Oh,
I didn't see what happened, but a track cut forced on the outside.
Oh, Godzilla opening up some gaps. And Booger again cops a hit by Carnage, blocked out of bounds, forcing her to yield to the pack. Booger quickly back in. Godzilla opening up some holes, but her jammer not quite able to capitalise. That right there's the danger of skating backwards. Your whole front is an engagement zone.
Yeah, when you do it against a jammer like Booger that'll just punish you for it, that's the result.
Here she comes, Booger around the outside. Carnage.
Carnage has been putting some great hits on tonight, but Booger just went, well, if you can do that, I can do it better.
And at least they did have the courtesy of doing it right in front of the commentary box. We get a great look at it too. That was a punishing blow. There's going to be some mean-looking bruises popping up tomorrow. Check it, Mojo Malicious doing some stellar work against Abrasion. Hussey Debris weighing in, Godzilla hanging back.
Oh, and that's a tough call. Booger managed to successfully call that jam off, but one wheel just went over the line as she was doing it, and she will start the next jam in the box wearing the Jammer Star.
So, dangerous. That was a 10-0 jam there for Newcastle. They're sitting on a
14 points to 0 now.
You are correct, Colonel Panic. That's a 44-point lead. Let's see if Nikki Nitro can reel it back in. She goes straight up the guts, but Mojo Malicious holds her ground. Godzilla is just everywhere that the jammer is, shoving her teammates into her path, impeding her progress. She's picking up the pace now.
Godzilla called on a high block there as Nikki Nitro picks up lead.
She's coming around that track nice and quick. Leggy Bomb slowing the pack right down. Nikki Nitro now looking for points. Blocked out of bounds, has to yield. His whistle's getting thrown all over the place. Oh, Nikki Nitro cops a track cut. She's on her way to the sin bin. And Booger is back on track. She's stashed the Jammer Star, trying to camouflage amongst the pack, but the Bay Rollers aren't falling for it. I heard some whistles, but I think they're coming from a far distant track. It's one of the confusing things about playing these big open spaces. Yeah, the Bay Rollers are making life very hard for Booger. Oh, nice. Debris opens up a gap, just nudges Cleo Fracture out of the way, and Booger punches through, completing her initial pass. We've got 45 seconds remaining in this jam. No points yet for Newcastle.
It's nicely timed offense there from Debris, setting things up for Booger to come back round, now wearing the star on a scoring pass.
Cleo Fracture, BB Sting and Metal Minx, our three defenders up the front. Nikki Nitro backing out of the sin bin now. Mojo Malicious dishes out a nice shoulder hit. Marilyn Tantrum weighs in as well. Godzilla's there. Nikki Nitro's really having to fight for it. Booger breaches the pack, hosting a 5-point Grand Slam pass. 4 for Nikki Nitro. Got 15 seconds remaining. Neither jammer able to call off the jam.
Marilyn Tantrum on the way to the box for the Dockyard Dames. Forearms call, that was.
Both jammers trapped in the gut. Nice work by Godzilla. And that jam times out. 3 more points awarded to Bay and 2 to Newcastle. That was, I think the Bay Rollers came out a little bit ahead at the end of that jam.
So we are exactly at three-quarter time in this game. 163 plays 119. That was a 7-7, so after all that punishment of that last jam, no one gained an advantage.
Sugarcane it, stepping up to the crease in the red for the Bay Rollers, and number 3 in the white, Holly Funk. Debris holding Drop Bear and Reggie Ramjet in position and making life hell for Sugarcane it, and bang, out of the front of that chaos comes our Newcastle jammer, Holly Funk.
Holly Funk not slowing down. She just puts the gas on. Coming up, her teammates trying to set points up for her.
Bay Rollers, big hit there by Cleo Fracture.
And Holly just comes to say hi at the commentary bench as she calls that off.
And nice work. Cleo Fracture blocks Holly Funk out of bounds, holding her to 1 point. That's how it's done. Cop just blocks her right in the sternum. She eats concrete, calls off that jam. 14 minutes remaining. Fanny-tastic up there on the line. Have we got a timeout or something contemplating? Yes, we do. An official review has been called by the Bay Rollers, and our rules expert, Blacktooth Grinner, going to head out in the middle, find out exactly what's going on.
While they're having that discussion, we'll thank our sponsors, Rydell Skates. Rydell, for over 70 years, Rydell has been the innovative leader in the roller skating industry. Rydell Skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance. If you are down at TGSS this weekend, go along to the Radar booth to register and win a free set of Radar Halo wheels.
Thank you too to BSS Light Audio Visual, who've put all the PAs and everything together this weekend, and it's a massive, there's 5 tracks, and it is a massive bit of work, and so thank you so much to BSS Light Audio Visual for making it all go so smoothly. Okay.
All right, so the official review, the Bay Rollers were awarded 0 in that jam. They are asking for 3 points.
So the refs are conferring to see if they agree with that decision, and we'll find out shortly. I see a lot of shaking heads.
Holly was coming in hot, had to call it off from her knees out here on turn 4. Meanwhile, the Bay Rollers jammer was in hot pursuit. Certainly from my angle here, it didn't look like they earned any points, but the refs are the ones that have the angle on that.
What was the result of that?
Their team wanted 3 points awarded for their jammer.
Did they get it?
0 points in the stand.
Okay, nice one. So we've just heard it from our ref, Simon Says, and they did not agree with that assessment, so the 0 point pass, the 1 point pass, 0 point pass will stand. And
they'll lose their official review.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Leggy Bomb stepping up to the crease, number 17 in the red for the Bay Rollers, and fantastic number 0690 in the white for Newcastle. The pack deploying hard up against the pivot line.
Occupy the pivot line, a bit of old school derby.
That means our jammers will have a bit of momentum. Leggy Bomb dishes a nice little shoulder hit.
Whoop.
Fantastic goes down. Leggy Bomb now has the advantage up the front there, but she has
Leggy's got some speed on her too, even though there's 2 to beat, 1 to beat, there's none to beat.
And Leggy Bomb is our lead jammer. Nice defense, Debris and Marilyn Tantrum, but she makes it through. Metal Minx and Debris having locking horns there on the outside. Leggy Bomb is back in now looking for points. She tries it down the inside. Debris is all up in her face. And she's got the look at that gait. It's just beautiful. She just, those long legs just step across. Bang, that's a 5 point pass for the Bay Rollers.
She makes it look so easy with those strides.
Yeah, she can just change direction and just pull away. Yeah, it's amazing to watch. Nora X, it's also pretty incredible to watch. She steps up to the crease, number 33 in the red for the Bay Rollers. Kay Sass in the white for Newcastle. A little under 13 minutes remaining in the match. And in fact, 30 minutes remaining in day 1 of the 2016 Great Southern Slam. Nora X running afoul of Godzilla there at the back of the pack. Marilyn Tantrum weighing in as well and swinging that powerful booty. And Reggie Ramjet adding to the pain. And Nora X not able to make any headway. Kay Sass is just gliding around the pack. She's approaching the back now looking for points. She hits it hard and she's through. That's a 5 point pass for Kay Sass in the Newcastle Roller Derby League.
Reggie Ramjet just opening up that lane for Kay Sass so she didn't have to expend any energy or time to pick up those 5 points. We're at that point in the game where making sure that your jammers are doing the least amount of work for the most amount of points is vitally important. I'm seeing the jammers coming off the track and sitting in their team area, and they're getting pooped.
Yeah, that's right. And the Bay Rollers have got 50-odd points to recover, and they need to come out with something pretty special, and they need to do it now. Pack accelerating into turn 4. Kay Sass.
Oh, Godzilla just driving the Bay Rollers points out of the way so that Kay Sass could collect them.
Absolute quality work. 54 points, the difference. Holly Funk back out there on the line and Sugar Cane it alongside her. So we've got a 4-3 pack advantage to the Newcastle Dockyard Dames. Holly Funk up the front there, having to deal with that triangular defensive formation of Bay Rollers, but it breaks apart. She punches through, claiming lead for Newcastle.
Reggie Ramjet going to the box for a high block on Sugarcane It, but meanwhile, Holly Funk's just happily got lead, and she's often scoring.
Godzilla and Booger are a mean-looking couple up the back there, and Sugarcane It is not getting anywhere. Wherever she turns, Booger is right in front of her. Godzilla holds the outside line, and she's really struggling.
Holly Funk doing it all alone, no offense there, but she didn't need it. She's got 5 in the sky, while Godzilla and Booger just double team on Sugarcane It, trying to even block the star pass now.
Great work, but no, Metal Minx snatches it out of her hands and dons it, and that's the initial pass completed for the Bay Rollers. Holly Funk looking for points. Nice hit by Slingshot Polka Dot, followed up by Carnage. She gets blocked out of bounds,
And
gobbles up the points, calls the jam.
It looks like she got a full scoring pass for that too, even though she was knocked out of bounds right at the end of it. So good points haul by Holly Funk. 10 points to nothing.
Yeah, that's right. As their point score just gets further and further out of reach of the Bay Rollers, Nikki Nitro lines up alongside Fantastic, Mojo Malicious and Leggy Bomb jostling for position there. You can see Leggy Bomb ready to play interference on Newcastle's defence. And is it paying off? Nikki Nitro has to go round her down skater, and she's through. Oh, yeah.
Nikki Nitro just goes anti-offense on Debris and takes her out on her way through.
She's yelling at Rorschach, her jam ref. Someone copped her one in the face. But you just got to keep on trucking. Round the outside, Nikki Nitro is through. That's a 5-point pass. Look at the carnage there on turn 3. Leggy Bomb doing some stellar work at the back. Cleo Fracture weighing in.
Fantastic. Putting a lot of comms in. She's talking to her skaters while she's getting pummeled there. Unfortunately, no one really in any position to try and stop Nikki Nitro.
And, yeah, so while all the carnage is going on, she's just sweeping through and snatching up points. Newcastle's completed their initial pass. Debris taken the star, and no points yet. Oh, a nice stack there on the inside. Nikki Nitro is another 4 points. That's a 14-point jam there for Nikki Nitro and the Bay Rollers, and it's certainly one that they desperately need. 8.5 minutes remaining.
I think that's the first actual star pass completion Newcastle's done. They've done some stashes, but that's the first time they've actually done a pass.
K-Sass and Jamaica Me Crazy. This is the first time we've seen Jamaica Me Crazy up there on the jammer line. Let's see what she's got. 2 4 walls deploying. We've got a full complement of blockers out there. It is 5-on-5.
An interesting strategy to be rotating up the jammer rotation this late in the game.
Godzilla is there all over her.
But it worked for them. Lair's lead jammer.
Rightio, so she's swooping around the track there. Sugarcane It, Slingshot Polka Dot, and Abrasion Hussey, our 3 defenders up the front. Jamaica Me Crazy looking for points. She's got to deal with Kay Sass, who's weighing in on the defence there. And Godzilla is getting down nice and low.
Simon Says pulling a nice pirouetted faceplant on the outside wearing the stripes. And an incredible hit by Carnage. She's put some big ones in tonight, but well, that's the closest one to us, but I think that was the most bone crunching I've seen.
Yeah, we need to set up the commentary box over onto turn 2. That's where the action's been happening. It's great when it happens right in front of us. So Jamaica Me Crazy's got 5 points up there.
Carnage once again single-handedly forcing K-Sass out and back a good 30 feet.
You got to wonder why they've been hiding Jamaica Me Crazy around for so long. That's a 10-point jam so far.
Well, the number of laps she's now done, she is looking a little out of breath and starting to slow down. Maybe she just doesn't have that endurance.
Well, Kay Sass has completed her initial pass. It has taken her a minute and a half to do so. Jamaica Me Crazy. Look at her, she is exhausted. She did
solid jam though.
She got 13 points to 0 there, yeah, but I don't think she wants to do that again. I think she's looking to her benchy going, don't make me do that again.
Big cheers from the bench though. That was a solid effort for someone that's literally gone the last 45 minutes without wearing a Jammer Star.
37 points of difference. Leggy Bomb, Holly Funk going head to head. Nikki Nitro holding Nora X and BB Sting in that Delta formation. Leggy Bomb trying to find a way down the inside, but Godzilla's right there. Oh, she recovers and bam! Newcastle. Holly Funk has claimed lead jammer.
Holly Funk was such a nice stride there. She was already in full crossover mode and accelerating when she got awarded lead. Leggy now toe stops around the outside in lane 4. Gets out herself.
Nice defense by Nora X, driving Holly Funk out of bounds. Nikki Nitro tries to plant a hit on that golden spot in the front of the thighs, but Holly Funk steps up and posts 4 points and calls the jam.
Once again, Godzilla just putting in some really active offense at just clearing blockers out of Holly's pass so she could pick up those points with minimal energy expulsion.
Expansion? No. Expensal? Expense? Cleo Fracture
Expense,
stepping up to the crease. Number 888 in the red. And Fanny Tastic in the white for Newcastle. We haven't seen Cleo Fracture too often out there with the Jammer Star. See what she can do. Steps over. Oh, Debris cops a big one, but slowed Cleo Fracture down for just a fraction of a second. Time for Fanny Tastic to claim lead.
And did you see Breezer just do a full commando roll back up on her skates like nothing happened?
Yeah. And Fanny Tastic just lazily calls off the jam. They're in no hurry now, Newcastle. If they've got lead, they've got control of that clock. I'm surprised that she called it off when she did. They can just afford to try and drag the time down now. A little under 4.5 minutes remaining and 41 points of difference. KSAS eager to get back into the action. And Bay Rollers have called a timeout.
So team timeout, 4 minutes 28 on the clock. Just enough time for us to thank our sponsors. So Spank Alley, they stock top quality armbands, helmet covers, compression pants, and lots of cool stuff. They're making armbands here at TGSS on their booth. They have full stock of compression pants and a range of hoodies, onesies, helmet covers, and so much more. They are They are stocking the Left Turn clothing range, only Australian sockers to do so. So check out Spank Alley at spankalley.com.au or get down here to the Adelaide Showgrounds. I've got some Spank Alley armbands on the way. They are quality stuff.
They're also setting up, they've got Chicks in Bowls merch as well available, onesies, hoodies. Get spanked at Spank Alley.
The Chicks in Bowls merch is pretty darn cool. I've got some of that myself. I might have to see the full range that they have over there.
KSAS and Nikki Nitro, our next two jammers, 41 points. The difference is not impossible for the Bay Rolls to get back, but it's going to be damn hard in the next 4.5 minutes. Let's see what they've got. The whistle's blown. Newcastle's defence. Oh, Nikki Nitro gives KSAS a nice little nudge, but Debris isn't going anywhere. Slingshot Polka Dot gives her a nice nudge on the outside.
Almost kind of nudged her through the turn there.
Exactly. KSAS did seem to use this momentum of that hit to help her through. Nikki Nitro's up the front there. Debris, gee, she's a killer. Oh, speaking of killers, Godzilla weighs in as well. Killer and Godzilla, they rhyme. I wonder if that's a coincidence. She's through. Nikki Nitro completes her initial pass. No point to get on the board for the Bay Rollers. Nice work. KSAS sees Nikki Nitro approaching and calls that jam off, but not before posting 3 points. Further extending their lead. 3.5 minutes remaining. Holly Funk has just been murdering the flat track out there. Lines up alongside number 888 Cleo Fracture.
Bay Rollers continuing to put jammers out as blockers, blockers out as jammers. They don't really have a dedicated rotation there. Kind of bucking the trend of most modern teams.
Well, I think they've... I have a suspicion that there's a few of their jammers that they're expecting to be here this weekend couldn't make it. I know there's B Rail's not out there, and in my eyes, she's one of their key jammers. So I think that they're just having to They're desperate for jammers.
Just play with what they've got.
Exactly. Oh, Godzilla. Geez, that was a massive hit. Debris hanging back. She wants to weigh in on the punishment as well, which she does. Cleo Fracture goes down. She's quickly back to her feet and completes her initial pass. Holly Funk having to deal with Nora X up the front there, posting 4 points, calls the jam.
Well, for those of you watching at home, you probably saw you could lip read Debris as she came off the track. She disagreed with those ref calls. I believe they were only directed at the audience there at home and not at the officials. So no additional penalty will apply.
Exactly, because that would be a misconduct penalty, I believe. Leggy Bomb and Fantastic. We're heading into the dying minutes of the match. This will be the second last jam of the match. It's very likely. 48 points of difference. Fantastic cops a hit by Nikki Nitro. Nikki Nitro, she's got some amazing acceleration. Really is beautiful to watch. But number 0690, Fantastic, is our lead jammer. Leggy Bomb about a third of a lap behind. Bay Rollers have claimed the front of the pack and they're trying to keep it moving nice and quick. So that's some great defense there. Oh, but hang on. Carnage has a spill. 2 points.
2-0. Newcastle just have to keep this calm and collected. 1 minute 25 left on the clock, and it's easing out to a 50-point differential now.
Yeah, I think they're out of danger now. Holly Funk stepping up to the crease, and Nikki Nitro. This may be the last jam of the match. The last jam of day one of the 2016 Great Southern Slam here at the bottom of the world at Adelaide Showgrounds. Oh, Holly Funk nudges Nikki Nitro out of bounds, blindsided her. She cannot get through. That's some
Holy
work by
Funk.
Reggie
Bang!
Ramjet.
Draws the multiplayer block, which opened the lane, which got a lead jammer. Just textbook stuff there.
Nikki Nitro gets down nice and low. Booger unable to get down low enough to block her. Completes her initial pass. Nice work, Carnage and Metal Minx working very nicely up the front there. Big hit by Carnage again. Holly Funk blocked out of bounds. 4 points, calls that jam. We may have time for one more jam if someone calls a timeout.
That second nature communication by Newcastle. Holly went in. She went in first. The team had her back. When she didn't get that success, she just reset back, gave them a quick tap on the hips, and they were in there with active offense. All in a lot less time than it took me to explain that.
Yeah, it's just that instinct of just hours and hours of training together. So we have time for one more jam by the looks of things. Leggy Bomb, number 17 in the red for the Bay Rollers, and Kay Sass in the white, number 49 for the Newcastle Roller Derby League Dockyard Dames. Newcastle deploying in a four-wall right up against the jam line. I think they're waiting for someone to blow a whistle. It seems to be taking a while.
Godzilla is pulling some of the most obscure facial expressions I've seen in a while. They are clearly directed at Leggy Bomb. She's trying to psych her out. It'd be working if I was up there.
Godzilla, she's been just ripping the place apart this evening. Been beautiful to watch. This is the first game of the tournament for Newcastle, and they have certainly come out guns a-blazing. They're going to be facing the Brisbane City Rollers tomorrow. Brisbane City Rollers certainly defeated Bay Rollers solidly this morning. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Leggy Bomb is our lead jammer. Pack's looking a bit scrappy there. There's bodies everywhere, big gaps. Leggy Bomb's going to enjoy that. Let's see what she can make of it. Booger, Reggie Ramjet, Debris and Godzilla, our four Newcastle defenders. Leggy's through on the inside.
Look at that power. Kay Sass, even though it's the last jam of the game, she is not slowing down one bit. Powerful strides, accelerating out of every turn. She's making the most of every second of this game.
Pack's looking a bit more tidy now. Godzilla holding her two teammates in position, and Leggy Bomb is shut down. Bang! Kay Sass punches through, posting 4 points.
Period clock has now expired, so once this jam ends, we will see it, and that's it.
Leggy Bomb posting 4 points and calling off the jam.
Clap and a fist bump for Kay Sass. She's done her job. They've done their job. Nothing's going to change the total. Newcastle Roller Derby League, the Dockyard Dames have defeated the Bay Rollers, the Byron Sirens, in this first round qualifier here at the 2016 Great Southern Slam.
We'll just wait until we do get a final score, because although I don't think it's definitely not going to change the outcome. We'll just make sure that we know what the official score is. The refs have to check with the scorekeepers. And just before we sign off, you can see all the crowd, what's left of the crowd anyway, this late in the evening, stepping out for their victory lap.
The refs seem to have decided that they're done.
Yeah.
No official score is being shown. Unofficial result 213 to 159.
Rorschach, one of the jam refs, is already skating off to this. That's
yeah, the refs are pretty much just leaving the venue, so I guess they'll do their thing.
Well, I guess we'll have to. That'll have to be our official score. That was a bit odd. 59
it's
points.
Official-ish.
It's close enough. 59 points to the Bay Rollers. 159 points to the Bay Rollers and 213 points to Newcastle Roller Derby. So
stick your hands through the camera, high five the teams as they come past.
That is 2 losses now to the Bay Rollers. So unlikely we'll be seeing them progress through to the quarterfinals. Newcastle will be playing against the Brisbane City Rollers tomorrow, and very likely that the winner of that game will be moving through to the quarters. So that is going to be a hard-fought game. Thanks for watching. It's been an awesome day. This is the final game of day 1. My name's Honest Dave. I've been here with Colonel Panic, and you're watching the 2016 Great Southern Slam.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The Aries Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Aries Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The Aries Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Aries Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The Aries Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Aries Platinum, performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Your bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
The Aries Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Aries Platinum, Performance redefined.
Has this ever happened to you? Fumbling your marker. Your marker's not working. Trying to scrub off those pesky markers in the shower. You forget your numbers and you're sent back to the bench.
Bench! Put your numbers on! Get those numbers on your arms!
Let's see that again.
I have a severe sweating problem. Before I got my Spank Alley armbands, the refs were always telling me to reapply my numbers. But now, I can stay in the game.
My Spank Alley armband's second as a rope. Now I can lock up the competition. Thanks, Spank Alley.
But wait, there's more. If you order now, you'll get not just one, but 2 armbands. That's one for each of your arms.
Thanks, Spank Alley!
Spank Alley armbands. Get spanked.
The Clinic, Adelaide's skate and streetwear specialist, stocking a huge range of skateboards, longboards and cruisers, as well as scooters, streetwear and footwear, plus roller skates, inline skates and Heelys. The Clinic, 20 Curry Street in the city, open 7 days, or shop with us online.
I don't think it's nice, you laughing. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.